Yeah, it's fine. Gotta do what I can to help out. That's good. Alright. Yeah, we already know. This was my friend. Yeah, it was close. Definitely close. Not for me. My friend had a free roll for the main event. Yeah, for APL. Yeah, it's for the like main event. How do you get a free roll? You play. You get top 30% of the place that you play at. Yeah, so top 30% in a single event that you play at. Or that's like overall the entire season. Or you play 30 games at anything. You get invited to a free roll event to try and get a ticket to get to the main event. So did he get the ticket? Nah, yeah, he got it halfway. There was like 300 people, 350 people. Southport Sharks. So they like it. Because that was Southport Sharks. Yeah, it's nice. Like, crazy. But he did that. There's another one on the 25th of April. Another free roll. They had a second chance event or something. And what is it? Then he and I going down for the tag team. So we'll say that it's gonna be fun. Exactly. We're gonna be. Hold on. No, I think we're just getting away from people. Wrap up. Start. Yeah, I did.
Max he's always mid-semester exam right now.
Yeah.
Siobhan from IMC, she sent me.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure if, I'm James. I'm not sure if there's anything you want me to do. Like, I did participate. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's pretty fair. I have a bullet point of things I'm already going to talk about at IMC. Like, do you want to deliver it or do you want me to do it all?
You'll probably do it.
Yeah. Siobhan said, like, you're happy to answer questions about your experience. Like,
yeah, I'm more than happy to do that. Yeah, sweet.
Cool.
Nah, Roger's got it. Oh, okay, that's a bit rude. No, Roger did all the work, so
do you know roughly what question would be like? Or
I
sure do.
No idea. You're the trader.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's around there.
It's a long building as well.
Start this like that. I don't know. Don't hold people in too much. There's like a balance of like, we scrap up.
So, well, we did EMA for like everything starts. Yes.
It's fine. Just quick, didn't see anything. What you doing? You here to do anything? Or? Okay. I was say honestly, I might just pull a seat out of the camera and that'd be great. Yeah, something like that. But honestly, I don't really need to be in shot.
Okay, let's get started.
Alright.
Yeah, but it's almost
Alright, we're getting ready. Off you go, man. You got this.
Okay, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Roger Zhu. I'm studying computer science here at UQ. My role in UQ Fintech is VP Science Academia. I've been doing most of your marking over the weekend. Your submissions, I will mark them. A little bit about me, I guess. Last year, Max ran this AlgoJam, and I absolutely loved it. I did absolutely terribly. I came like 6th place out of 14, but it was the most excellent event that I've ever seen at UQ. So this year I've decided to sign up as an executive and help out. So here I am. You guys don't have to love the AlgoJam as much as I do, but I did hope you enjoyed it. So first up, presentation evening today. We're going to talk a little bit about IMC, our wonderful sponsor, and then we'll go over the second year data that you guys haven't seen yet, but your code was run on, and then finally we'll see some results. We can get some food.
Taking on challenges. There's no feeling quite like it when you put in the work to make the difference between acceptable and exceptional. When you're faced with complexity, yet find a way to make it happen. This is what we're about at IMC. We're a high-performance trading firm powered by technology for those who want to be the best among the best. At IMC, it's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being in the room with the smartest people. Never mind where you're from. What matters is where you want to go. The impact you want to make. Because we're always building for the future. Anticipating what's next. Creating what could be and solving problems for the better. Better strategies, better markets, a better world. Our most ambitious goal yet, to become the world's leading trading firm, together with the world's brightest minds.
Firstly, IMC does send their apologies. They couldn't make it this evening, it's unfortunate, but we do have a representative here from. Sorry, I don't know what your role actually is, but I think he's very associated with IMC and he has a trading internship, so you can ask him questions afterwards.
I'm going as a grad next year.
Grad next year.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's open to questions. So firstly, what is IMC? They are a high-frequency proprietary trading firm. So they like to say that their bread and butter is to market make. So that's things like buying bread at $1.50 and then selling at $1.51 to make a small profit each way. They are a pathfinder in advanced technology. So a part of that is the different layers that they have. So first off, they have a strategy layer, which is in calculating price and risk, and that's using tools such as Java and Python. Below that, we have an execution layer, which is about the decision about what trades they want to make. So that's done in C++ and Java. And then at the very bottom, they have a hardware layer, where they have FPGA developers working very, very low latency developing. IMC has global offices in Sydney, Mumbai, Amsterdam, Chicago, and they often have good chances for global mobility. A bit about life at IMC. They do advertise to have a very open culture. They're open to continuous learning. They're very intellectually stimulating, and they like to provide fast feedback. So part of that is a very flat leadership network, so you can easily access other people. They like to stress the importance of their social aspect of their firm. So they have things like a surprise weekend where they take all the employees out to a surprise location over the weekend. They often do Sydney Harbour Bridge climbs, and they do a lot of charity work on the side. Right now they're hiring for a trading intern, quantitative research intern, and software engineering interns, which you should apply for if you're into hardware. And lastly, they have a quantitative research masterclass on next week, so you can apply on their website. Okay. Onto the second year of data. Just super quickly, we got the EQ dollar here. There's not much to say. Last year when I played, I guess I was expecting Max to be like more tricky about some of the data. Maybe he was going to do some sharp turns, but I think you'll find that they're actually quite predictable in the second year still. I'll just play this video of my dog, who inspired the dog food. We have the Fintech token. Fried chicken. And its derivatives, raw chicken and secret spices. I do want to say the shape of raw chicken is a bit different for the second year. It's a bit strange. Goober Eats. It's hard to tell what's going on, but it's still pretty predictable. We have the quantum universal algorithmic currency coin. Very strong seasonal trend still, in the exact same place as well. And finally we have purple elixir, which is also very seasonal, if you have one season a year. And this is a new instrument that I made for this competition this time around. It's called the Rare Watch. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys about it. It really is just a bunch of trigonometric functions folded together. And then about the noise, I didn't bother doing like normal noise. I actually used it was a gamma distribution. So if you don't know what that is, most of the noise will be between like 1 cent, 2 cents, very small. But there's a small chance that there's going to be a very, very big noise, which you see a lot of big spikes. So the thing about this one is, I guess I was kind of testing this year, so I didn't give you a lot of positions to put it in, so a lot of you didn't trade it because it just didn't make enough money. But I guess one thing is, like, it's a bit of a gamble because you have no idea which way these spikes are going to go. If the spikes go the wrong way, you're going to lose money. But if it goes the right way, you are going to win some money, which is a bit of it's a fun game to play. Okay, let's see some results for year one. This is not what you've been marked on, this is what you could access for yourselves. So after the first year, congratulations to Tung Profit for leading number one. I did hear some rumors in the Discord that someone broke 8.8 million on the first year, but I think they were lying. On to the next year. It was an incredibly close competition, so it wasn't as exciting as you guys had it. I couldn't watch the race, I just had numbers pop up on my screen, but all the numbers were very close this year. Yeah. Here are some statistics about the second half of the year. You can see the position change column. I think it's a pretty good indication of, like, if you have used any like models with parameters, how much you maybe overfitted to your data. So Daniel Lee, good job. He jumped 3 places, which probably indicates like he had quite a general solution to the instruments. Edge Fund as well jumped 2 places. A little bit about the Sharpe ratio. If you don't know what it is, it's it's a measurement of how much money you can make per unit of risk. So that's something you want to maximize. We have a pretty consistent this year where the top winners basically have the top Sharpe ratios, unlike last year. Okay, let's do some prizes. Would you like to come? Okay. In third prize we have Snobby Shaw's capital management system. Would you like to come up and collect your prize?
They're doing like presentations on like the
Yeah, we'll do that now. Yeah. You can just do one each. So we all one each, and then we have gift cards.
Congrats. What's your name, sir? Ben. Josh. Oh,
Yeah, they're all the
yeah,
same.
okay, fair enough. Oh, yeah, one. Congrats.
Congratulations. Would you guys like an opportunity to talk us through the algorithm?
First, and then we'll
Picture first, yeah, of course.
say, what's your name? Yeah, go for it.
Straight on LinkedIn. Okay. Would you like to talk about your algorithms?
Alright, so we used a sort of variety of different things for our algorithm, just sort of depending on the instrument, and we sort of all worked together on all of them, but we each had sort of specific ones that we worked on the most. Sort of as a whole, I guess how we approached it was we first sort of calculated the maximum possible profit that could be made from the data, and then we tried to figure out basically what a sort of reasonable percentage of that to aim for of the profit would be, and so we figured out that there was about $4.4 million of possible profit, and for most of them we sort of reasoned that about 60 to 70% of that was reasonable, depending on the sort of instrument. So the ones that I sort of mainly worked on, so I did the Quack coin, and the way we sort of traded that was we had this idea of like what the seasons would look like, where there's this sort of regular intervals, jumps and drops, and then we basically traded like an exponential moving average off of the deseasonalized data. And we did a similar thing with Purple Elixir because it sort of had quite a similar trend across the 3 years, across the past data as well as across sort of previous data. And so there was sort of like a general trend there, and we were able to sort of deseasonalize based off of that.
I'll talk about sort of mainly the Fintech token, as well as like the UQ dollar, which I guess everyone probably would have figured out quite easily. It's sort of just a mean reversion onto 100. Everything sort of goes back to 100, and so obviously buy low, sell high. So that was very simple. I think Fintech token was a bit more interesting. It was still a very somewhat similar idea. We used sort of a switch, which was a measurement of like volatility, and that was just a standard deviation in the past. I think we used 5 days, and so pretty much if it went over a certain threshold, you'd start trading on like more of a momentum based strategy, whereas if it was below that threshold, you sort of go into mean reversion. I think we used a moving average on that. So yeah, those are sort of the main like instruments I was looking at, and all I have to say about them really.
So I worked a bit on the watches one. We kind of figured that the random spikes and dips were pretty much impossible to predict, so we just traded it as if it was the normal like sinusoidal curve. If it was going up, we would buy, going down, we'd sell. Then if we detected that there was like a big spike or drop, we would just either buy it or sell it to take advantage of that large move. Another strategy we had was on like the mean reverting things, we would try to detect if it was a general up or down trend, and then revert to either slightly higher or slightly lower than the mean of the past few days. So we used that on most of them, I think. Yeah, that's probably.
That's about it. Thank you, Snobby Shaw's capital management. In second place we have tongue profit. You guys need a better name. It looks terrible in the post.
Congrats. Will?
Nafis.
Look at me.
Straight on LinkedIn. Okay. Share some tips with your fintech youth.
I mean, we sort of did like the same things. Maybe the only difference was the purple elixir. So we got last year's, like actual last year's data, and we averaged, like we got the first year from last year, the second year from last year, and the first year from this year, and we just averaged the price at every point, and then that was just our value. So if it was above that, we sold, and below that, we bought. That was, I mean, unless that is what you guys did, but
we originally were going to do that, and then we did something a bit more complicated, which I think was just worse.
yeah, I mean, we took a gamble that it would be the same, but yeah. I don't know if you've got any.
Yeah, I think our approach is pretty simple. We don't use any like crazy machine learning models. It's mostly just like moving averages or like fitting linear regressions into the training data, and like doing gambling with like hard-coded stuff. So that's it.
Yeah, a lot of hard-coded values.
Nothing interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tongue Profits. First prize, we have Edge Fund. Come on up. One person.
Yep.
Oh.
No, my mate couldn't make it.
Yeah.
He didn't have to tell me that. Sure, that guy, yeah. It was all me. It was in Tom. Yeah, Tom.
Are you going to see him later? I can give his gift card to you if you want. $500.
Is it 500?
Yeah, it's $500. Sure.
Wait, 500 each or like?
500 each. Are you trustworthy? I can't give it to you. Or I can just email it.
I don't know, do you trust me?
Yep. There you go.
You as well, I guess, yeah. I think we get a photo.
Right at your front of the post.
Oh yeah. I don't think we did anything much different to the other teams, but we had a really cool strategy for the Elixir. Yeah, we saw in the PDF that it was a seasonal trend, and we noticed that if you squint your eyes, it looks like a waveform, like a bunch of sine waves added to each other. So we did the Fourier transform of the data and extracted the main frequencies and kind of separated the signal from the noise. And I think that's what helped us edge it out in the end. So there you go.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our presentation for tonight. If you'd like to talk with the representative here, you can ask them any questions. Other than that, we have hot food outside with some desserts, so tuck in.